We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Welcome to No Brains, No Headache Podcast, episode 181. We are just approaching the Christmas season here, so Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you out there. My name is Jordan Weichel. I'll be your host today, as always. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do it. And I'm joined with my co-host, my confidant, my longtime friend. His name is Matt Cleary. Matt, how are you doing this fine afternoon?
Struggling a little bit hungover from the weekend. You know, I got what we call in the business drunk on Saturday. So
You drink?
every now and then something just came back up from the weekend.
Just on occasion. But yeah, we got episode 181. We got a few housekeeping. Got a good one planned ahead. I'm really excited about what we have to talk about. We're going to do a little Facebook Marketplace. And then we're going to play the game we play here occasionally, the Olympics. We have a good one in store this week. Matt, a little housekeeping before we get going.
I just want to give a shout out to frequent guest Crowboy69 Carson Bell. He graduated from college.
Wow.
Not why he's in this week's rundown. He obliterated a car windshield with a golf ball, and he vlogged it, and it was pretty funny.
How did this happen?
He hit it, and then he was walking down the fairway, and he's like, definitely just smoked a guy's windshield. This round of golf just got a little bit more expensive. And then he's like, yep, the guy's turning into the clubhouse. And then he put up a picture of it and just smashed right into the front of this guy's windshield.
Are you liable as the individual for that? How does that work?
Yeah, it's 100% on the individual. In my 10 years of being at a golf course, I had quite a few of that. One, I was actually playing in the group when it happened, and it couldn't have been more funny. The ball went over a hill onto a busy street, and all we heard was a psh, and I'm like, someone might have just died.
You've always been very well with your sound effects, so I appreciate you sprinkling those in every once in a while. How are you able to get insurance? Like, say you're just talking to your insurance agent, you're like, I'm terrible at golf. There's a decent chance that I just smoked somebody's, their vehicle windshield window. Am I able to purchase some sort of, insurance?
I don't think so.
Do you just exchange your auto policy and just treat it as if it was a car accident?
So you're telling me that you were driving at the same time as you hit the golf ball? It's like you're trying to get out of paying for it.
You were driving the golf ball.
I don't really know
on what club you're using.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong. And usually when you do hit the driver, that's when you hit cars. But 99% of the time, they don't find out who did it because the people playing the golf course, myself included, are not going to take ownership of that.
Yeah, that's where you just hide in the trees or you just kind of keep playing along like as if nothing happened.
Blame it on the group behind you, and then you just watch some innocent guy and the guy in his car get in a fist fight over something you did.
Or how you're supposed to mark your golf ball a certain way. You just have your full name and phone number on there. Just, damn it.
You do the...
Try not to lose that Pro V1.
The role models where he just says his name on tape while he's stealing TVs.
Yeah, just incriminating yourself. Got to watch out for the windshields when golfing. For the local listeners around here, probably won't be doing that a whole lot in the outdoors. Indoor golf season upon us. And probably don't have to worry about that. I'm going to talk to my insurance agent. I'm going to see if we can work something out.
This is how much I don't really like indoor golf. Every week, I only look forward to eating buffalo chicken pizza.
Well, you're at indoor golf.
Yeah. I could do that anywhere, but...
Yeah, you could just... You don't have to join a recreational sport, weekly to do that. You can just go out with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun sometimes, but most of the time, not really.
Fantastic. Glad to see you're taking joy in life.
Yep. You actually pointed this out to me when we went and watched the Vikings game. We might have the greatest Vikings fans of all time in Bismarck, North Dakota, because they didn't show a ton of emotion, but they showed it at every single play.
Yeah, every positive play for the Vikings was greeted with a nice warm round of applause.
Yep. It was like 3-yard gain, slight clap.
Yeah, we went to the local watering hole and I was waiting for you, and like I just remember just being like, this is crazy how much they are just doing a light slow clap after every positive play, because we were at the same establishment a while back watching a Vikings game. I was like, it's dead in here.
Yeah.
Does anybody care besides me? No. But then we show up on, apparently the trick is having it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
When people can just have the rest of their day to really make poor decisions and another day to kind of deal with them.
I did like how if something bad happened every once in a while, you'd just get like a guy getting like a tooth pulled or something. He would just let out like a, ah!
Yep. There you are with those sound effects, man. God, just keeping them sharp. Love it.
And another one I liked was at halftime when everyone's like, got to pick it up next half. And some guy's just like, pull your head out of your ass, Mullins.
I like that guy. You know, I've said that for years, you know, pull your head out of your ass, or I like where your head's at and it's not up your ass.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I can
so
get on board.
Yeah, there's all sorts of good sayings out there. I met up with an old friend, and you know, we caught up for a while over a couple adult beverages, and then at the end, you know, we're saying goodbye, and they're like, "Oh, I'm happy to hear you're doing really well." And I'm like, "Did you listen to a thing I said for the prior 3 hours?" Like, I get it. You got to get the generic, you know, see you later, have a good night, blah, blah, blah. Happy to hear you're doing well. It's like, okay, you need to go get your hearing checked, because not what I was getting.
Clearly was not listening to you the last 3 hours.
Not at all. And that's okay. Whatever.
I email frequently with a person that has in their signature line, it just says choose to be happy. And every time I see that, I say no out loud.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot worse sign-offs and signature quotes that you could have out there, but that one's okay. Maybe a little too optimistic.
Ooh, my least favorite thing to see is when people quote themselves.
How do you mean?
Like, if they'll say something and then they'll like put it in quotes and then they'll quote themselves.
Like, what's an example? I've never seen this before, I don't think.
Like, one of the main ones is like Aziz Ansari, his fat cousin Harris. He quotes himself on Facebook like, he'll be like, life's a dirty game, you gotta play dirty to win it, and then he'll put it in quotes and he'll be like, dash Harris.
Well, you know, you got to come up with the good quotes. Sometimes they're yours.
There was an absolute mouth breather that I knew that used to do it. You definitely know who it is.
Okay, right on.
I'll leave it at that. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Sounds good. Let's get into it. Episode 181, No Brains, No Headache podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Okay. Let's party.
I was listening to another podcast with Michael Buble on it.
You whore.
Actually, really like Michael Buble. Just a good dude.
Not what I was accusing
Yep.
you of being a whore of.
Oh, yeah. And I'm the whore in this situation. He said the phrase, my house isn't that big. So I looked it up. He has a 27,000 square foot house.
What's that like comparable to? I'm terrible at square footage.
That is 15 of my houses.
Is that what it is, actually?
Yes.
Give or take? Okay. How many bedrooms in this sucker?
I think it's like 9 and 13 bathrooms.
When you have that many bedrooms, you know, say you're the owner of this joint, what are you doing with all your bedrooms?
I want to know what they're doing with all the bathrooms.
Well, that's easy. That's self-explanatory. What are you doing with your bedrooms?
Okay, so when I did go to the Masters a couple years ago, there was we stayed in a house that was similar to that. Like, every bedroom had its own bathroom, but then there was also bathrooms outside, but every bedroom had something different in it. Like, there was one that was like clearly an office, one that had a bunch of workout stuff. That was my room. I used the workout stuff the whole time I was there.
Definitely stayed fit.
Yep. I don't know what else you do with it. Like, if you collect something, maybe put it in there.
Yeah, like if if you're that wealthy, I don't know how much free time you have on your hands. Hopefully you have a lot, and that's the whole point of financial freedom, at least from my understanding. I'm probably gonna have like one's gonna be like my little art room. I'm gonna get into painting. My grandpa was an artist, so I need to fulfill that legacy.
You're going to have an art room that you use the first week you have it,
Yes.
and then it just goes untouched for 20 years.
Hey, but at least there is, there's a reason for it being there. There's a purpose behind the room. Beyond that, though, I might go full on themed rooms. And hear me out, because I know it just sounds tacky, but being a 90s baby, I would definitely have just like a 90s room. And I'm going to have like I'm going to have an old TV in there. I'm going to get like some bed sheets that are just, classic nostalgia, big old fat hit of it. I'm going to have a rack on the wall with DVDs and VHSs, as well as a DVD and VHS player in one of the rooms. So that's going to be like the 90s theme room, probably like an N64, some sort of gaming system.
A piano rug that
Yeah.
you plug in, that, like when you step on it, it makes the piano noises.
Yeah, like the movie Big. Fantastic film. Great scene. Something like that. And then, maybe since there's just so many rooms, I'd like, maybe one's just space and like aliens and shit.
I was just thinking about that, is if you had on the wall, like spaced out every foot, like big fake lightsabers, and then when you turn on the light, that's how it's lit.
Yeah, Matt, you can come over and
in.
help me with the fictional mansion that I'm gonna have in the future. But something like that, I think, if there's gonna be a lot of rooms. Also, I'm the type, once I get like a comfortable with my bed or whatever, if you get a new bed or move places, like that's where I just want to sleep. So I wouldn't be able to be one to move around. However, maybe I'd make an effort to do that, to be like, okay, slept here like once in 2 years justifies the extra bedroom.
Back to Michael Buble. He was saying his house isn't that big. He has a full-size hockey rink in his basement.
Olympics size, or
No.
just okay?
It's like standard. So
In his basement?
Yes.
Like underground?
He literally built the hockey rink and then built the house over it.
Well, that's a smart way to go.
And he was saying, like, he was showing pictures of it, and he's like, I mean, I'm not trying to like say this is like huge, but it's just a massive hockey rink. Like, it has a Zamboni and stuff.
Okay, I'm checking this out now that you got me intrigued. Is it in Canada?
Yes. He lives outside of Toronto, I think.
Okay, that adds up. You're not going to have, I mean, you might, because America's so wealthy, but you're not going to see an underground hockey rink in Brazil, for example.
Yeah. Well, I was like,
perhaps basketball court.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a half and half. Like, he can change it into a basketball court and stuff, but isn't that just bananas to have a hockey
rink? You could change it into a rock concert if he really wants to. Do whatever he wants. Where is this hockey rink? Have you seen pictures of it?
No, he was just talking about it, but he was showing the hosts of the podcast pictures of it.
Wow. Well, I guess, a little hard work, determination, and perhaps just a smidge of luck, you can have yourself a 11 bedroom or whatever it is mansion with a hockey rink beneath. I don't know if it'd be very practical for me. I'm not a great skater. I've never played a second of competitive hockey in my life, so...
Well, that's what...
I'll probably do like a football field. Never use it.
Oh, do like what Patrick Mahomes did, and he has like a 40-yard football field. It's like, why would you have that?
You gotta, you're married to the game. That's why.
Him and his dumbass brother just running routes out there.
Are you upset?
I fucking hate Jackson Mahomes more than I hate myself.
Do you have any more about Michael Buble?
No, I don't.
Michael Buble?
Buble by Michael Bubbles.
Michael Bubble. So, we're a big power move podcast. We've talked about it before. I love power moves. I just think it's the way you should live your life with, consistent power moves every single day if you can. So I heard this story recently, and I did get approval for it to be on the podcast. Just got to leave some names out, but there's a very nice restaurant in the area, and it's one of those places where there's just a certain level of professionalism and service that you should expect, and there's let's just say there's not a dollar menu at this place, okay? So you're going to be dishing out a pretty penny to have a pretty nice, exquisite meal. And I appreciate those types of businesses, where like the owner's like also a chef. So they really take it seriously. They're very hands-on. And there's just certain ways you go about, the way you treat your customers. So that's the kind of place I'm talking about. And there was a server, a waitress, I believe. And, they had a very wealthy client, I would like to imagine. And they were just being very snobby, asking all of the hard questions about the menu, and then goes on to ask how fresh, I believe it was the salmon, how fresh is the salmon, and I feel like that, I could see somebody taking that pretty personally and being like, okay, you don't think that my salmon's fresh? So this person goes back and they didn't even tell the chef dude, they just mentioned it to a fellow coworker. And, well, word got around to Chef Guy. We'll call him Mr. Chef. And he didn't like that very much. And, I'm coming off of watching The Sopranos, so there's, Artie Bucco in the show. They're very rich about food and the dining experience. And a lot of crazy shit happens in that show. Kind of remind me of that. So, Mr. Chef goes and grabs a whole fish, like a salmon that's probably, it's just probably got the guts out, the innards out, and goes up to the table and says, "Is this fresh enough for you?" and slams it on the table. Now, mind you, this is a pretty nice place. Like, it's not just a couple of those red plastic cups that are indestructible that you had as a child. This is, some fine china, probably a candle in there, a little decoration, nice menus. And yeah, just gets a whole fish, basically just like as if you're chopping wood with an axe. I feel as if that was the kind of motion that happened. Slams the fish on the table and says, "Is this fresh enough for you?" And then goes, "Get the fuck out of my restaurant."
Oh my God.
So I heard this story and I was just in awe the whole time. I respect the move so much. And yeah, I just wanted to share, the power move that took place.
Dude, that's equivalent to taking your dick and balls out and just putting them on the table.
Well, modern day, I think that person Mr. Chef would then be in the wrong.
Well,
I think you're meaning more from a figurative sense of just like, flopping your cock on the table, show you my balls. Instead, it was just a salmon, but pretty much the same thing. Apparently, as the person left, like the rest of the congregation, apparently they're all like Vikings fans. They gave like a slight slow clap. And
have you seen the movie Burnt with Bradley Cooper?
Oh, I love that movie. I've seen it multiple times.
It's something similar that he does when that guy's being an ass. And then he's like, "Apologize." And he's like, "No." And then he just flips everything up and then grabs the whole tablecloth and walks out with it. He's like, "Thanks for dining."
Yeah, exactly. I love that movie. That's one of those movies I could probably, I'm not going to watch too often, but it wouldn't be unlike of me to watch that movie like twice in 3 days.
It's pretty slow moving. Like, you got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, but it's great. You see the chef life. That's kind of what I'm talking about, is just, there's Applebee's and, you got your, Matt's favorite corporate restaurants, and they're just, they're there to sell you, a false idea.
Yeah,
I guess you could say.
Here's some chicken with a lot of salt on it.
Yeah, Matt's still pretty upset, holds a grudge. But you have these other places, and yeah, it's just an overall better experience. But just don't ask, maybe etiquette. Don't be a snob and ask how fresh the stuff is. 'Cause I get it. I understand the concern.
And realistically, in North Dakota, it's going to be hard to get fresh salmon unless you're getting it like from...
You get that shit flown in.
Yeah.
No problem.
I guess
jet fuel's not very cheap, but...
I don't know the salmon game very much, I guess, which is shocking.
But how would you know, Matt? Should we go ask this person, and then we'll see what their response is? He just grabs a salmon and just whacks you across the face.
Should we just keep going back to this restaurant trying to get that reaction out of the guy?
It's going to end up costing you, I think.
Worth it?
You know, it's one of those places where they just do the little things, like put out fucking bread and butter.
Yeah. Like their butter comes in a dish.
And it's warm.
Yep, not a plastic thing.
Yeah. No, you got it.
Their breadsticks aren't endless.
Usually not. I mean, you could probably, this is America, you could order all the breadsticks you want over and over again. I don't think they're going to stop you. And you should. And every time we talk about food on the show, I always get increasingly hungry. Yep. So let's keep it moving, Matt.
I want to talk about conspiracy theories because I had this thought that what would happen if they released all the JFK, like Kennedy files that they have, and there just turns out there was never a conspiracy theory.
I'd say that would probably be boring. You know, I think, you know, I'm sure there's all sorts of conspiracies all over the world, but American conspiracy theories, I feel like that's just part of our culture at this point is, you know, we need, you know, to escape from the mundane reality of every day. We need something out there to give us some hope.
Could you imagine
this is interesting?
Spending your like life researching and like coming up with these theories.
Yeah. Sasquatch.
And then it turns out it's just like, oh, they're not real.
Well, I would, you know, the Sasquatch folk, the Sasquatch community, this might be who you're referencing.
The Sasquatch is 100% not real.
But the thing is, they almost get a pass because I think, you know, at least me personally, I want him to be real. I want there to be Sasquatch. But how, you just got to ask the simple question. I feel like we're just going to go down a rabbit hole now debating conspiracy theories.
Of cryptozoology.
But if the problem with Bigfoot is, and I mean,
there's zero evidence of him.
Yeah, a lot of the sightings aren't validated very well, and like, I don't know. You see, there was a recently actually. It was like people were on a train in, I want to say, California, and the passengers saw what looked like, you know, gave off the vibe. Then we have the whole theory that there's just some guy on DMT who likes to dress up as a gorilla and walk across the hills of Northern California. And I think that is pretty.
That's
probable.
more likely to happen than there being a giant ape-like creature that we can't catch.
Well, and that's just it for me. How is there one, like, are Sasquatch extinct? And then the one homeboy with the classic, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the classic video clip where the arms are swaying in the woods and he looks over. Was that the last one? Why aren't there more of these things?
What if it just turned out that we've had him the whole time and he's the actual guy acting in the Jack Link's beef jerky commercials?
Yeah, like they'll be like, you know, we'll wash you up a little bit, give you a facial, and make it kind of look like Hollywood, and then you can exist amongst humans in a certain sense normally.
It's like, look at that guy dressed up like the Jack Link's guy, and it's just actual Sasquatch.
But I think the scary part about a Sasquatch, if you will, is they just look so scary. They look unstable. At any point, Jack Link Sasquatch guy could tear your face off.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking at... Did I tell the story about the Asian family in the Omaha Zoo?
Why not, tell it again? We got all sorts of time.
It was like kind of like a Godzilla thing because like they came running out of this exhibit, like 30 of them. And like they were at the glass... And this huge gorilla's right there. And they're all like banging on the glass, like trying to get this humongous gorilla's attention. Then all of a sudden the gorilla just goes up and hammers on the glass. And all of them just like scatter. And I'm outside the exhibit. And like all of a sudden I see like 20 to 30 Asians just fleeing the exhibit. And I was like, oh, I kind of hope there's a gorilla on the loose right now.
Well, I get the Godzilla reference, but I feel like with the recent movie series, you could even just call it a King Kong reference. I can't imagine the Asian people are very fond of King Kong either. Pretty scary still.
I don't think anyone would be a fan of their whole city getting destroyed by a giant lizard.
Well, or King Kong's sense, just got to be a cute blonde, and you're safe.
Yep.
With a big heart.
And jugs.
Well, Matt, those are your words, not mine. That's, and that's your right. You can say that, and I don't care. You do that.
But don't they have? They don't have like a kid playing. No, they have this little Asian girl playing the
In what movie are we talking about?
King Kong. No, Kong.
I'm still pretty much a Jack Black King Kong movie.
That's like being a Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes guy.
Yeah, I am that too.
Oh my god.
The new Planet of the Apes film, which fits perfectly into the conspiracy theory topic, there's just too much. It's too ridiculous. I can't. I don't buy into it. The storyline is just, it's too far down.
I love how they couldn't afford James Franco for like multiple films, so they're like, flash forward 30 years, everyone's dead.
Yeah,
I mean, it's CGI the rest of this with unknown actors.
Yeah, it's just like an easy plug to just like have a picture of James Franco.
Well, that's what they
pay
do.
him $4, send him out the door.
Well, I said the TV show Big Sky, the only actor in it that I knew was Ryan Phillippe. Head blown off first episode.
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
Did you know in the movie Fargo, you're familiar with the film?
Yep.
So they kidnap Homeboy's wife, right? And so she's got a few scenes at the beginning of the movie, not very many, but the rest of the movie, you don't actually see her face. So the Coen brothers, to save money for the Fargo film, after she was done with her scenes, they cut her loose and hired a much cheaper, like stunt double, you could say, because the rest of the movie, she's got like a pillowcase over her head, or you just see the back of her head. You don't actually see her face for the rest of the movie.
They did the movie equivalent of like paper bagging a chick.
I guess technically, yeah. I think the idea in a hostage situation, Matt, it's not for a kinky fetish. It's so she doesn't see your face or where you're at or anything of that nature.
Here's a movie fact for you. Did you know the snow in the movie Home Alone is actually potato shavings?
Wow. Fantastic.
Because the fake snow that they got didn't look real enough, so they got a bunch of hash browns and brought those in.
I lived in Grand Forks, North Dakota throughout my college years, and they have a potato factory up there. And I can't imagine the smell was great on set after, unless they clean it up right away.
What if there was just a production assistant making hash browns with a hot plate, like on the side?
I mean, that's just being resourceful.
If life gives you potatoes,
make a hash brown.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, the conspiracy theories, I think we could really just like dig into and spend about 4 hours. I'm just not interested in that right now. But I want Sasquatch to be alive. I want it to be real. I know it's not. Aliens, what are your thoughts?
They have to be real.
Yeah.
Did you see the Mexican government come out with what they thought was they captured an alien, and it essentially just looks like E.T.?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Is it real?
No, it's 100. But like the Mexican government like came out, we found an alien, and they like unveil it, and it's literally just E.T.
Were they trying to make a funny?
No, I don't think so.
The Mexican government made an official statement about a fake alien.
Yes.
I mean,
like,
I'm not a citizen of Mexico, so therefore I'm not sure if I'm qualified to comment, but it just seems like a poor choice, a poor move from a government standpoint.
I think it's the same thing as like the Grinch putting horns on his dog and calling it a reindeer.
Well, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Aliens are definitely real, though.
I think conspiracy theories, like I said, they're there to give us humans, an escape from reality or the fact that there's just something out there that just is so unreal, it might be real.
Or like the government listening to everything we say and then turns out...
Well, Matt, we do post it out there.
Yeah, no, but like on phones and stuff, and then Snowden came out with his, and it's like, turns out that was real.
Hey, you know what? If you want to listen to me bitch about how hungover and broke I am all the time, tap into my phone calls. I don't care. Be my guest. But, send me some liquor coupons, so I can hit the liquor store and get the drink so I can keep talking about it over the phone.
All right.
I don't. If they want to listen, it's kind of like people spying on you. It's like, well, if you want to watch me eat cereal in bed and spill milk all over myself, and go ahead, spy away. I don't care.
It's like, what did this guy do on Sunday? He literally took 30
woke
steps.
up and then went to the couch and then turned on the football games, then slept for 4 hours. Then he got up, made some mac and cheese, slept for another 3 hours. Then it looks as if he pleasured himself for 2 hours. Then he went to bed.
And he thought about taking a shower, realized it was too much work, shut the shower off, and just went into bed sweaty.
He smoked a cigarette in his bathroom with the fan running because he's too lazy to go outside. And yeah, that's
not too far off from what I did on
so.
Sunday.
If you want to waste government funds looking at that, I mean, spy away. I don't care. It's my right as an American to let you spy on me being a piece of shit.
True.
So if we're all mad that our taxes are too much, well, they're spying on the wrong people. I don't know what sleeping during the noon slate of football games has to do with illegal activity, but what do I know? Why are you tapping my phone calls? There's nothing there. I hardly make a phone call. When I get a phone call, I'm shocked. Like, this is weird. I do not know how to check.
I would say about 90% of my phone calls are spam calls.
But think about it. What if it's just the government spying on you, and they're so bored that they're like, okay, we're going to send them a potential spam call. I got, minus 500 that he actually picks it up or doesn't pick it up.
There's just guys putting single dollars down on a boardroom table. Just be like, all right, we got a live one.
Yeah, and it's probably just like all the IRS agents. They don't have anything better to do, so they just spy on normal citizens and then send to spam calls and try to see if you'll answer.
Yeah, we got to audit this guy. He made $7 this year.
Yeah. Better whip out the audit. Matt, I got a doozy for you. I actually asked it over the weekend. All you did was laughed and said, ask me on the podcast. So here we are. It's a real would you rather situation. Definitely pertain to the conversation we were having at the time. And it goes like this. Would you rather start doing meth or CrossFit, and why? There's a few things to consider here.
I
mean, your social outlook, regardless, not great.
I think CrossFit, but it's very close.
Okay.
A couple things would come into like, how often do I have to do it?
Yeah, if it's like a normal thing, like workouts in general, it just doesn't stick for people. It's hard work. It's discipline. We are naturally, wired to avoid that. And so we do. We give in to the lack of self-discipline. But if I could say it was like, okay, you have to do it 2 times or 3 times, I'm going to do meth.
Oh, yeah, meth, 100%. That actually sounds
call me
fun.
crazy,
Yeah.
but I mean, you do have the risk of being hooked to a very addictive substance for the rest of your life.
I've heard that meth isn't
You also
that...
probably won't be sore. Well, you might be sore, but...
Either way, you're going to lose some weight.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of looking at it. I think the meth could be, done right. It could be a productive thing. It's like, hey, I've been meaning to fold my laundry.
Yeah.
Let's get her done.
Yeah. I've been meaning to fold my laundry. I just set my entire house on fire. I think this might be a very much a hot take, but I think I would lose less friends doing meth than I would doing CrossFit.
And that's what I was saying with the social outlook. I think regardless, it's not going to be a great look, but if you're taking the lesser of two evils from a social perception standpoint, I would say maybe doing meth is, again, compared to CrossFit, is pretty innocent.
My brother did a free CrossFit class one time as a trial, and I didn't talk to him for almost 2 years. Okay, it's a couple weeks, but I mean...
It's like, hey, do you want to wake up at about 3:45 a.m.?
Put on a weighted vest. If I put on a weighted vest, the first thing I'm doing is jumping in a lake and drowning myself.
But have you thought about it? You're a guy who likes the weighted blankets. What about a weighted vest, but for bed? Are we onto something here?
Like weighted pajamas?
I guess it's the same concept as your weighted blanket. It's just around your body.
I don't know how it would work because like rolling over and stuff, you can kind of do it. If you have a weighted like jacket on and pants, I feel like I would slip out of the pants middle of the night and then be totally Winnie the Pooh with just a shirt on.
Winnie the Pooh.
Just no pants on.
I don't know. I think it's just, waking up so early and like I've never been to a CrossFit gym, nor have I ever done meth. Let's just make that clear now. I think Matt's in the same boat as well, but he can speak for himself.
I'd be more embarrassed to say that I've done CrossFit than I've done meth.
I really, maybe I'm just delusional to the true side effects of meth, but I'm looking at the meth thing as a very productive 3 days where I just don't sleep, but it's also like I got a lot of shit done.
Honestly,
I did my taxes not correctly, but I did them.
I just don't think that, because it's come out that CrossFit is like terrible for your joints.
Yeah, and that's the other part is the actual substance of it, and like the people who do it will definitely be like, no, that's not true.
That's not true. It's like you're 27 years old and just had a double knee replacement.
Well, and like that's fine. If you enjoy doing CrossFit, fine. If you enjoy doing meth, whatever. Like that's probably not the best, but are we waking up super early just to throw weights across a room and grunt while doing so? And doing like these ridiculous like obstacle courses that I don't know how
you have to do a hang clean while on a teeter totter while like.
Yeah, like when I was in football in high school, for example, when we were working out, a lot of it would be like certain exercises that are relatable to football. Like one of them was flipping tires.
Yeah,
I think because you practice like explosion and following through and like getting low, and so that made sense, But if you're a 33-year-old accountant, at the local nonprofit, why are you doing deadlifts while running a mile at the same time?
And it's like if I get done with work at 5, the last thing I want to do is go.
No, Matt, you go in the morning. You got to wake up at about 4:15 at the latest, I would say.
See, even if it was just working out in the morning, I'm still not going to do that. I like my sleep.
So you're doing meth then?
Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't matter how often or whatever.
I think if I had to do any sort of workout.
Okay, let's rephrase it. Would you rather try doing meth or try doing CrossFit?
Meth.
Or you can just try it, and if you don't like it, by all means.
Meth.
Yeah, I think we're in the same boat there, buddy.
I think I have more chance of getting hurt doing CrossFit than I do doing meth.
Yeah, I mean,
this is just a lot of conjecture, though. Like, I have literally no idea what goes on in either of them.
How are we doing the meth? Are we smoking it? Is that how you do the meth? Can you snort it? I'm pretty sure you can snort it.
I've seen that on Breaking Bad. The Tuco guy.
I know you can smoke it.
Yep.
I got the light bulb too, so just come over to my place.
Doesn't everyone have a light bulb?
But I got the one for the meth.
Oh.
You don't want to waste a perfectly good light bulb on meth.
Oh, good to know.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Common knowledge. You get it in a fortune cookie.
So we are smoking meth then.
Yeah.
If anybody wanted to, they could easily just kind of dub these clips and just make us look like terrible human beings.
But it's like the fact that I think if I'm going to lose teeth, it's my massive consumption of gobstoppers that make me just lose chunks of my teeth and then pay $4,200 to get double root canals.
I think the problem is, though, just the addiction. You know what I mean?
This might be another hot take, but I don't think meth's that addicting.
No, that is a pretty hot take.
I think if you do it a lot, it's addicting.
Well, that's how it gets addicting, Matt. Do you know what addiction is?
Yeah, I have an addiction to going to work, and it sucks.
No, you have an addiction to continue making money in your life.
Which also sucks, because then I spend it on dumbass shit.
Yeah, how many sports cards did you buy over the weekend?
An aggressive amount.
Okay, not even comfortable sharing on the show.
I'll just say it's around $390.34.
Per box?
No, that's the total.
You bought more than that.
No, that's what I bought, but I would have bought way more if you didn't pressure me into going to the bar.
And you're welcome. You're welcome for doing that.
Yep, thank you.
Whatever I could do. Moving on, No Brains, No Headache, episode 181.
I saw this thing. It was these people donating a large check for charity, and the check was only for like $84.
I'm just picturing Dukes and semi-pro.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Can't you just give me like a regular size check?
Try a big bank, the big bank,
Big check department.
Got that, Monix? Nope. Great.
But I was thinking, it's like, that kind of sounds fun. And I was like, how funny would it be is we'd go to like the United Way with like a huge check and be like, hey, can we get a picture? We're donating this amount of money. And it's just us with like $6. The check costs 5 times more than what.
It's actually pretty accurate. Quick search online. We've got $33, $67, $75.
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to make your own big fake check.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's get a little. You could, if I was in my mansion, we could go to my art room and have an art project, and make the big check.
Just being like, Catch Me If You Can. We're just forging big fake checks.
Isn't that just what YouTubers do? Is just like hang out in their mansions and then like do pranks all day?
Yeah, I hate YouTubers. But seriously, follow us on YouTube. No Brains, No Headache. Yeah, so this is my big check idea. I want to donate money to charity, but
Let's
pretty
do it.
minor amount, but just get big checks when we do it.
Dude, I'll order one right after
Yeah,
we're
be
done
like, there's
recording.
Matt and Jordan just giving their hard-earned money. It's like, podcast doesn't make that much money, so here's $4.
You know, it's on the up and up, though. I could see 2024 being our biggest year yet by profiting $400.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to
Can
do
you
with
say
all that.
retirement?
I can. Pretty well. Pretty well. I say we do it. Was this one you saw, was it like the holiday, since it's the holidays, were they, giving back to the less fortunate, probably just for their future budget, not out of the goodness of their hearts? It's like that episode in The Office where it's like, we should spend this money.
Yeah, where they spend money on a stripper and a large check instead of just donating the money to it.
I'm all for that. You should have just phrased it up like that right away. And
So we had $400 to give to the United Way. We got a stripper and this large check. So here's $8.
And to be clear, we got a stripper for about 14 minutes. So I could say it was a pretty good time.
Jordan came 3 times.
Matt, okay? Tired of your shit.
What?
Are we done? The huge check department? Absolutely dynamite addition to the show, Matt. Facebook Marketplace, a portion of the show where we just go over doozies that people post on the platform. Facebook Marketplace. If you aren't, entertained like we are, I suggest you get on it right away. There's so many good things.
And-
Matt, which one are we at?
You could start out with the basketball jersey.
Oh, and work our way backwards?
Yep.
Fantastic. This is on an online garage sale platform. And, I got to give this person credit. They do have a nice little description. You are going to look amazing when you come marching in with this reversible Saints jersey on, ready to snatch ankles at a moment's notice. I like it pretty good. It is Matt and I's alma mater, our old high school. It's a practice jersey for basketball.
And
Is that what it is, man?
Yeah, you know full well that this guy got it at a thrift store because someone was supposed to give it back at the end of the basketball season and then just didn't do it.
I don't know, Matt. Modern day, they have a lot more money than when we were in high school in the ghetto, so they may just hand these out like Kleenexes. So, but what I like maybe most about this listing is this guy knows what price he wants. It was a very specific $36.
Hey, he knows the market.
He knows
For
the
a
market.
small town high school reversible.
How did he know that I wanted a modern basketball practice jersey from my alma mater.
Yeah,
'Cause I did peak in high school.
I know
And
what
how
I
did you
have.
know that?
I know what I have here.
Yeah.
$36.
All right, Matt, the old parking lot find.
We had this before where someone had a BB gun that got thrown out of a car and ran over multiple times, and someone posted it like, anyone looking for this? It's like, yeah, go ahead and throw that right in the garbage. Someone posted that they found a $10 Target gift card in the parking lot of our mall. Writing is from a child, so hoping to get it back to its owner. To claim, I will need the names on the back of the card. First off, I don't think $10 is enough for me to post it and for a kid to look at it.
You know, it's the same as if you found a $10 bill laying there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's your lucky day.
But it's actually worth less than a $10 bill because it's only for one store.
I mean, if that's how you look at it, then yeah. But if I'm finding a $10 gift, if I'm finding a $10,000 gift card, I'm just going to respectfully pocket that, and karma will work itself out.
Yeah, as someone that doesn't believe really much in gift cards, this one hurts me.
Matt does not believe in them at all. Do you have any extras, by the way? It is the gift-giving season.
You could look at
anything
desk.
helps. Be sure to tip the house on your way out.
News article. Parenting advice YouTuber pleads guilty in child abuse case. Couldn't have taken her own advice.
That's just the biggest fear in someone's career is just having something so negative happen that it just goes completely opposite of basically what you've been working towards your whole life. Like just being like a safety compliance officer, than like
getting multiple DUIs.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good one, Matt. Yeah. Good job. Gotta watch out for it. I mean, that sentence alone, parenting advice YouTuber pleads guilty in child abuse case. I don't know if we even need to comment more on this. That's just how perfect it is.
And they took the mugshot is like a underside mugshot.
Yeah, it looks as if, they're Snapchatting and they don't want anyone else to know. They're kind of got the under chin going.
Yeah.
Not a great angle. I got a new license, a little license card.
I did
Had a great hair day.
Oh, I did mine like 2 years ago or a year ago, and I was like, I didn't know they were taking my picture again, so it was just classic me, just looking like me. And I go in there and look like a pedophile again. So that's great.
Hey, it's only a couple of years.
2028. It's like it's 6 years.
Ride it out, buddy. Just gotta ride it out. Next one on Facebook Marketplace. Matt sent this one. I didn't really understand. It's a 1994 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme sedan, 4-door.
It is a 1994 Oldsmobile Cutlass with 180,000 miles for $1,800. Yeah. It is parked in a field of overgrown grass. I'm not sure what the blue book on this car would be, but I'm guessing it can't be over $6.
Oh, man. Matt is going to get into the car resale business and dominate. I think this might be our last one. Do you know? Is the wall one? Or wait, we got a few.
Oh, yeah, I think we got a couple more.
Okay, this one's the garbage cans. Hey y'all. If you have struggled with musical missing garbage cans every time the wind picks up, we have a solution. My husband, who is a graphic artist, makes customized decals, and decals for your garbage cans are a perfect way to make sure your garbage can makes it home safely when the wind decides to take it for a ride down the street. Last name with address, you pick the colors, $15 per decal. Message me to get your decal made and delivered before the next windstorm misplaces your garbage can.
My husband, who is a graphic artist, aka unemployed. There's so much that goes into this because if your garbage can disappears on you, you can call the city and you get a new one delivered.
Yeah, I mean, this is for the suburban residential areas, okay? So this doesn't really apply to, like, everybody. I don't even have my garbage can is a gigantic metal bin. That is going nowhere. I hear it clanking, banging around.
And if it does go somewhere, weather outside is probably your biggest problem.
Yes. So I just don't see any reason why you need to spend $15 marking your garbage can. You know what a simple solution would be? Get a little bottle of spray paint. Just spray paint one little dot.
Yep.
On a certain spot.
And
unless all your neighbors do the same thing.
And you know full well her husband, graphic artist, is going to Hobby Lobby and just buying the stickers and then just putting them on there. It's like, stickers cost me 60 cents a piece. I'm making $15.
You know what? As an entrepreneur myself, I respect the hustle. I really do.
And what if your last name is
if
your last name is longer than 6 letters, because it clearly can't fit any more than 6 letters.
And what gets me is, I know it's windy in North Dakota. I get that. I'm a lifer here. I understand that. I've never seen the wind that bad where your fucking garbage can is picked up and hauled 200 yards down the street.
I have seen it one time, and I was working at the golf course, and this was in 2014, I think. Winds hit 89 miles per hour. Same storm that a trampoline blew onto the golf course.
Are these the garbage cans just like around the golf course?
No, this was a big, it wasn't black, but it was a big green one.
Was it in front of a house?
No.
See, well then there's your
But it's the
problem
same type of garbage can, and we just had a tournament that day, and it was full of beer cans. And I watched this thing get picked up and thrown, and beer cans were just going everywhere, and I did what any solid employee would do and left it for the morning crew.
And that's why they pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
I just don't see the need to identify your garbage can. And you know what? As I'm zooming in here, all these garbage cans have a serial number, if you will.
They already have.
I don't know, maybe just remember what yours are. I don't think there's ever a situation where you get into, unless you have the biggest asshole of a neighbor ever, and the weather dictates this, where you're out there having a shouting match with your neighbor about whose garbage is whose.
Funny thing is at my old house, I used my neighbor's garbage can because they got like switched and they must have like fallen over or something.
So if you would have bought the $15 decal, we would have.
And we just switched, and I used their garbage can for over 2 years, and they used mine.
How did they ever switch back?
It finally switched back when they moved. I think they moved, and then the new guy that moved in is like, that's actually my garbage can. No idea how he found it out, but
because you didn't have the decals on there, and if you did, that would have solved your problem. Your $15. That's a return on investment.
If your garbage can is in someone's lawn and there's garbage everywhere, I don't necessarily want my name being on it, because then they might expect me to clean up the garbage.
Well, Matt, why don't you take this next one? This one's a real doozy.
This is in a group called Bismarck People Reporting the News. So it's supposed to be news going on.
Spoiler alert. Literally none of it is news.
Never. It's like, I'm getting a divorce. Anyone know a good divorce lawyer? It's like, well, these comments are going to be brutal. This one starts out, my kitten is in my wall. I can't hear her. I need help. She's been in there for 24 hours. How do I get her out?
Kimberly, I hate to break the news to you, but your kitten is dead.
Yeah.
I can't hear her. It's been 24 hours. Interesting.
And the comments were equally as weird, because they were like, how does your cat get inside the wall? And then someone's sending a GIF from Always Sunny of Charlie putting a second cat in the wall to go get the first cat. Yeah. It's like, this person just lost their pet, but here's a GIF that's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know, a sledgehammer or any sort of hammer would probably work. Be ready to repair some drywall. Why is there a hole in your wall that allows the cat in? Do we take the vent covers off?
I did actually do
too
a
long?
little bit of research in this, and the kitten went behind the washing machine and climbed into a hole behind there.
The only hole behind your washing machine or dryer would be your dryer vent, which leads outside.
Either way, your cat's dead.
Yeah. Sorry to break it to you. I mean, T's and P's.
Yep.
You hate to see it.
Olympics.
What about this one? The stop signs? Was that on our last
We did
episode?
last time.
Okay, that was Facebook Marketplace. Now we're getting into the Olympics here on No Brains, No Headache podcast. How this works is we will pick a topic. This week is the Olympics of excuses. Matt's idea. So what we are going to do, we'll go back and forth. We'll start with gold, on to silver, bronze. We'll have a lost in the medal round. Of course, honorable mentions and DQs are optional as well. So we're just going to go back and forth. Rules state that we can't have the same excuse. And we're also going to be going back and forth picking. So what else are the other rules? Been a while since we played the Olympics.
It's basically we are building our podiums, gold, silver, bronze, lost in the medal round. We go
are
back and
family.
forth. You can't have the same pick.
We are Marshall.
Since I came up with the topic, I will let Jordan go first.
You want me to go first?
Yep.
I kind of want you to go first.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first because I was kind of struggling to come up with like what you had in mind. So I'll let you go first. Actually.
And these are excuses that I've used at some point in my life. Sometimes as soon as today.
Okay.
I will go with my gold medal pick, and I'm going to go with a distant family member died.
Okay.
Hard to fact check, but really hard to call BS on.
I once worked for a company that would require you to bring us some sort of program. And I feel like you probably just make one up on your printer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most of the time, people that do those anyways are just, it's on like Canva or something.
Matt's going with a death out the gate, which is a really interesting pick. Is there any sort of type of relative? Like, are you going grandma, great uncle?
I think like
aunt?
a great aunt, great uncle's pretty safe. Second, third cousin.
And maybe other families are different, and that's okay. But I
like cousin.
don't know if I know any great aunts or uncles.
But that's great then, because then
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. My conscience doesn't allow me to lie like this too much. But I'll do my gold medal. And I don't even know if it's my gold medal. It's just kind of the first one I came up with.
That's fair. First thought, best thought.
So my gold medal pick, Olympics of excuses, is saying you're sick, but you're not.
That was my next pick. So,
What was it actually? Because it's got to be an excuse. If you're actually sick, that's an excused absence, where this is an excuse, I guess. If there is a difference. I don't know. This is No Brains, No Headache, people. Keep that in mind. Not the two brightest bulbs
I got to see
out there.
how I
you
have
can smoke
this.
meth out of them.
Yep. I said not feeling well.
Okay. So I got saying you're sick, but you're not. The but you're not part is huge here. This one can bite you in the ass, though, if it's like...
Should I put faking sick?
Yeah, sure, yeah. But, what could bite you in the ass is, like, then the very next week you actually are sick.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, damn it. Like, that is karma full
That hit
circle.
me a lot, like, in the elementary school days. This is the boy who cried sick.
Yeah, I'm happy with that gold pick, saying faking sick, I guess. Good way to put it.
I'm going to go with car trouble.
Okay.
But not actually having it. Something very minor. It being cold, what I've done in the past is, my car won't start this morning. I have it plugged in. I should be able to get there in a couple hours. and then never show up.
You're kind of mixing a few excuses there, Matt. Just saying.
Which few? Car trouble.
Okay. Well, I mean, your example kind of leaked over into other excuses. Because my next one, and I'll just go ahead and say it, too cold out. So that just...
Oh, I mean, that's fine.
You got to do like flat tire or something like that. Yeah, it's too cold out. And this one really only applies to, I don't know, the upper half of the United States, I guess, geographically speaking. All of Canada is fair game for this one, which is really nice. It can be a nationwide excuse. Yeah, especially you get into the dog days of winter around here. Very easy for me to be like, but the thing about this excuse is I don't know if I'll say that. It being too cold out is just what's driving me almost to use a different excuse. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where it's like that's actually the origin.
That's
excuse.
what's actually going on, but it's just like
I'm sick.
I'm tucked under 4 blankets on my couch watching a good. It's like, I'm trying not to.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Maybe let's just move on. Too cold out. Like, I'm sure our listeners who listen often can tell. Like in the summertime, I'm ready to go. I'm motivated to do things. I want to get out. I want to see the world. I want to have fun. I want to accomplish all my goals. Wintertime rolls around, and it's just like
that's where I thrive.
It's like, I'm gonna not go to work until like Thursday. Like, just take a quick 3-dayer.
Yeah, the podcast never really lines up because I thrive in the winter. Jordan thrives in the summer. There's about a 2-week hot spot where we do, and that's what. Look out.
Well, that's good though. We need to balance each other out. So yeah, too cold.
I'm gonna go with my bronze pick of too expensive.
Okay.
I really like it because my example for this is I got asked to go on a golf trip to Coeur d'Alene. Frankly, I just don't like golf that very much, but the plane ticket was like $1,700, so I was like, too expensive. And it's hard. No one's gonna call you out for being like, "Oh, you pussy." It's like, dude, it's just a lot of money.
I mean, you're right on point with me because my next one is actually I'm broke, so we'll count that as the same thing, which is very noble.
Yep.
Way to go. Very fantastic. And it makes sense. But I think the whole, point of really, truly enjoying life is to go out anyway. YOLO. Unless you're DeMar Hamlin.
Or a cat.
But that's the idea. Live life on the edge. Edge being I can't afford rent.
Edge.
Or groceries.
Yeah, edge.
But I got hammered drunk.
Edge being going in the negative in your checking account.
Because I don't know if you can, to work, you can't really be like, it's too expensive.
Gas is too expensive right now. I'm staying at home.
Which some people I know and the way they approach their careers, that wouldn't be above them at all. To be like, you know what? It is too expensive for me to go to work today. I'm broke. It's like, wait, the way you become unbroke, you are buying in. Now, you can't afford it, so you're not buying into it. But,
dude, I used to know some people that would say the most ridiculous excuses.
Where are they?
One of them was, I sort of have West Nile.
Well,
I think it's one of those, you either have it or you don't.
That's why it's an excuse. How can you really combat it? All right, what am I at? Am I at my bronze? Okay, it's faking sick, too cold out. I think I just gotta go with the good old classic. I don't want to.
That's good.
I don't know what else. I have a couple others I could use. But the simple, hey, do you want to go check out the game? Let's just put a generic thing out there. Remember, we got to think outside of the box. Not everybody lives in Bismarck, North Dakota, where it's like, okay, the Bobcats or the fucking Bobcats. Those are your options.
Yeah, our arena football team that's just taking
Whatever happened to the Wizards, man? Bring back the Wizards.
Wizards they were good too. Like we were winning the Continental Basketball League championship
Year in, year out.
Yeah.
Powerhouse of the...
We had diehard fans that would
D-League.
like go start the wave.
Yeah, that's what you need.
And it turns out, looking back on it, it was just 6 drunk guys that like
We could be 1/3 of that, me and you.
Honestly, if we had a team like that, I would be all in. I would be a season ticket holder.
But hey, you want to go to the game on Saturday? No, I don't want to.
It's a good enough as any.
And
excuse.
that's a great way to also lose friends, so you don't have to continue coming up with excuses.
Also true. Friends 3 to 5
Hold you
are
back.
sufficient.
Let's hold you back. Bring you down.
I'm gonna go with my lost in the medal round, and it might be my favorite. I forgot,
Okay.
and I'll use this in 2 separate ways. First, I'll actually forget. Second, I'll wait until about a half hour after that event starts,
Then you'll remember.
and then I'll know full well that it starts at this time, and I will be sitting on my couch not doing it. And then I'll text the person I was supposed to meet saying, "Oh crap, I forgot. Should I still come?" Knowing full well that this event ends in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
It's one I don't feel great about because I knowingly will just be like, I forgot.
Well, once again, all of these situations, like what if you say that about work?
I forgot.
I forgot.
For a while there, I was really good at going in on holidays that we had off.
Oh, great.
Because my alarm doesn't change, it just like goes off, and I like go into the office. I'm like, "There's no one here. Wait, that's not different than normal." And then, and then like, turns out, yeah, we're closed today, so I'm gonna go ahead and go home.
Or I mean, the classic texting your boss every morning. Hey, boss, are we still on for today? And they're like, we're on every day.
Yeah,
you
it's
don't have to keep asking.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, unless a meteor hits the goddamn planet.
I don't know. That's just not the lifestyle for me, so I will avoid that as much as possible. Great one, Matt. It's fantastic. Now, this next one, I'm just kind of out of options, but I still think it's a fair one. I guess how I would phrase it would be the extremely honest excuse. I was busy partying all weekend and negating my sleep and general health, so I'm ill prepared for whatever the task may be.
I had on my list, the only one that wasn't taken was I'm too hungover.
You know, and I guess you could put that if you want. I mean,
Yours might be tough to get on a graphic.
extremely honest. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay.
And like you, with your last pick saying I forgot, but I don't know how honest that forgetfulness is. So I don't know. It was the Olympics of excuses, and I still have actually an honorable mention here, but just wasn't podium worthy. The Olympics of excuses, very open for interpretation. You know, whatever we consider to be an excuse would be a great one. We want you out there to let us know what are your excuses.
Ooh, I just thought of one that was a huge miss. Doctor or
Shit my pants.
Doctor or dentist appointment.
Oh. Well, see, I don't. It's
Dentists you can use like every 3 months. Be like, yeah, I had a dentist appointment. It was just a cleaning, and you just have yellow teeth.
We know full well that neither of us go to the dentist. My other one, I actually came up with during the show. This honorable mention. I wore a weighted vest and couldn't get out of bed.
I got too many weighted blankets, and my legs are now broken. I put I have to go to the bathroom. I really don't know if that's just an excuse or not.
I mean, yeah, and it's all the Olympics of excuses really just comes down to context. Like all of ours, I say, well, what if you tell work that you forgot or work is too expensive?
Anything that involves a pet, I don't like as an excuse. I would disqualify that.
And I would agree with you there. It's like, you know, I don't know how often a pet is a necessity. You know, people can say the service animal or emotional companion or whatever you call them. I get it, whatever. That's fine. If you want to do that, great. However, it's just a normal pet. It's a little cat. It's a dog, a puppy. Actually, a lot of people keep on trying to tell me how to live my life and get a pet. I don't really appreciate that at all. So I'm going to slap them in the face figuratively. I'm going to get a goldfish.
I have a nice goldfish bowl if you want it.
Sweet, hook it up. But then, like you're saying, using the pet excuse, just be like, can't come into work today. My goldfish is feeling a little blue.
Yeah,
I got floating.
Name your name your goldfish something that's like most of like a dog name, like Buddy.
Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky. Be like, I gotta go home and walk Sparky, and it just shows you walking with a goldfish bowl.
See, and that's something I would do. I don't know if that's like a huge red flag or like a narcissistic trait, but it's like I will do things to make it like I have to go home and walk Sparky. I would go grab a bowl. It might only be a short walk, but it's like, hey, I walked Sparky at lunch.
I'm not a liar, so I
didn't lie.
Yep.
So I just like
no one ever. No, it's the classic on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when they can't figure out if his dog is his wife he's talking about. He's like, yeah, we'd like to go on long walks. It's like, are you talking about your dog or your wife?
That is a good one. Yeah, I don't know. The normal pet, though, it's just like, I don't know. It's tough because it's like, I guess, yeah, I feel bad, but why? Who told you to get, 4 dogs?
Yeah.
Did anybody suggest that, to not do that? So I want you to see that person more in your life.
Yeah, it's like, we're in the busy season. You do not need to take 3 weeks off to train a dog.
Well, then that's just it. I guess if you can afford to do so. Here's a life hack to not having to constantly tell work why you don't want to be there. Work for yourself. Boom! Nailed it.
Roasted. Speaking of roast, if you want to come to the roast of Jordan Weichel, December 29th at the Eagles in Bismarck.
Yeah. If the local listeners want to come out, free food, free beer, free jokes. It's going to be a good time. Saying goodbye to my 20s in true public embarrassment fashion. I don't know how many people out there are on their birthday as significant at that, turning the big 3-0, where they're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy the beers. I'm buying the beers. I'm going to feed you pulled pork sandwiches, easy, but still one of my favorites. I'm going to let you make fun of me. How many people are out there doing that? I don't think very many. Whoever says I'm selfish, you may be right.
Yep.
Not in this case, though. I'm out there. I'm putting my neck on the line so you can have a good time. And celebrating the fact that I have been around for 30 years without going to jail for significant amounts of time. That's very... very clear distinction there.
We'd say about 1% of 1% of your life has been sent in jail.
Yeah, I've done time, 26 hours, and look at the man I am today.
We're making T-shirts. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Make sure to follow us on social media. You can just look up No Brains, No Headache on any social media platform, where you can follow us on Apple and Spotify. YouTube, you can watch the entire show. Episode 182 is going to be coming out in the new year. We're taking a little bit of a break for the next 2 weeks after this. So hunker down, listen to all 181 episodes, and we'll come back. New year, new us, stronger than ever. Going to be a good time.
Happy holidays. God bless. Happy New Year. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
This is a freestyle off the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again, 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 again. I do it only once. Again, 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 again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place I shoot like Carmelo. I'm living my life in